What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell with On 3. Today on the Hard Count, Shelton Sampson Jr., five-star wide receiver out of Baton Rouge, has committed to the LSU Tigers. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a daily basis. Nick Brick does the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. Now, the matter at hand, the breaking news. Five-star wide receiver out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Shelton Sampson Jr. is staying home. He has committed to the LSU Tigers. Enormous get for LSU. Shelton Sampson Jr. is going to be a guy to watch for years to come. Obviously, we like him a whole lot. He brings a lot to the table. He's been clocked at sub 4.4. Folks, that is really fast. Anytime you got a burner on the outside in the SEC, you got a chance. That's a major weapon to have on your team to stretch the field at LSU. In addition to that, he's not just a fast guy. He's 6'3.5", about 190, so he's got a pretty big frame. He uses that to his advantage. He can high point the football. So can run fast, can high point the football, can make the contested catches. We liken him a lot to the late Demaryius Thomas. If that tells you anything, Charles Power, director of scouting for On 3, made that comp for him for his NFL comp. That's really high praise. He's a playmaker. He wins jump balls. He's a matchup nightmare with his speed and size combo. He's going to do great things at LSU. Now, why LSU for Shelton? For him, it just came down to the direction of the program. There's a lot of things that played a factor, I should say, but one of the big factors was the direction of the program. And his mom said as much. They talked about how Coach Kelly has brought new juice to LSU, the way that they are now prioritizing academics in a different way, and just the way that LSU is continuing to trend in a direction that he likes. That was a big deal for him to get in the boat. So Shelton Sampson Jr. is going to add a lot to LSU, like we already mentioned, with his skill set and what he brings on the field. There's a lot of takeaways for LSU, in my opinion, as well. I mean, anytime you think about LSU, it's hard to not think about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Odell Beckham and just the brand of wide receivers they continue to put out of that university. I think that has to play a factor with kids going forward at the high school level. In addition to that, Brian Kelly is making it a priority to rope off the state of Louisiana and say, no, we're keeping kids that are freak shows like Shelton Sampson Jr. from our state. We're keeping them at LSU. And that's a big deal with how much talent is within Louisiana. To keep a kid from Baton Rouge in state going to the LSU Tigers, like that cannot be overstated how important that is for Brian Kelly and his staff as they move forward to getting LSU back to where they're used to being. So this is a phenomenal piece for Brian Kelly and his staff to land. Shelton Sampson Jr. is going to do big things at LSU, a name to know without a doubt going forward in the future of college football. Shelton Sampson Jr. is staying home. He's committed to the LSU Tigers. That's it for us here on the Hard Count. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at JD Pickell. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On 3 YouTube channel.